Hello, dear students. Today we are going to learn chapter number 3 in employee relations. The name of the chapter is the Trade Union Act 1926. Let's understand the objectives of this chapter. This chapter emphasizes upon the understanding of the activities of the trade union, which is considered to be the association of the employees in particular. In the context of employer employee relations, the significance of the trade union is immense. From this standpoint, this chapter puts stress upon exploring the suitable meaning of trade union, its characteristics, and the requirements. In the processes, this chapter attempts to identify the concept of trade union, definitions, historical evolution of trade union movement in India, trade union growth, the purpose of trade union, the objectives of trade union, the nature and scope of the trade union, and the functions of the trade union. Now let's understand the meaning of trade union. The trade union is an association either of employees or employers or of independent workers. It is a relatively permanent combination of workers and is not temporary or casual. It is an association of workers engaged in securing economic benefits for its members. Now, after the meaning, let's move forward to the definition. The definition, according to Section 2H of the Trade Union Act 1926, a trade union is any combination of persons, whether temporary or permanent, primarily for the purpose of regulating the relations between employees and employers, or between employers and employees, or between employers and employers, or for imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade or businesses, and includes the federation of two or more trade unions. This association, as per the Act, controls the interaction of the employees with the employers. It also regulates the work behavior of the employees, and they dictate the terms of behavior of the members to the group of employees opposing the interest of the trade union. Again, within the scope of its functioning, a trade union enforces restrictive stipulation on the employees to perform their respective jobs. For example, the condition of the use of manpower on each of the jobs against wages and benefits to be fetched from the employer. This, in other way, generates the scope of bargaining to the union to settle up the matter. However, in the line of employees, employers can also form trade unions to occur advantage for the members while dealing with the process of bargaining with the employee unions. Because the group of employers under the folder of this type of union can easily overrule the employees' union demands by consolidating united efforts under the process of negotiations. Needless to mention here that neither of the types of unions are the agents of neither the state nor the state regulates the functions of the trade unions. These are only being governed by the Trade Union Act 1926. At this point, it is to be noted that a number of eminent social scientists have magnified the role of trade union in terms of continuous employee involvements for the sake of bringing favorable employment conditions and making them better off in the bargaining outcomes with the employers. Now, moving ahead, let's understand the historical evolution of trade unions in India. Between 1850 and 1870, foundation of modern industry was laid. Indian working class started emerging at this point of time. In the national economy, one could see the growth of Indian enterprise along with English ones, growing steadily. During this period, the working and living conditions of the labor were poor and their working hours were long. The Indian Factory Labour Commission 1908 and the Royal Commission of Labour 1931 have rectified the fact in their reports. The working hours were longer, but the wage were low and the general economic condition was poor in industries. Indian Factories Act 1881 was enacted to regulate the working hours and other service conditions of the Indian textile labourers. As a result, child labour was prohibited. This act required the formation of machinery for the inspection of factories. In the year 1885, the birth of the Indian National Congress has provided the background for the emergence of the trade union. The trade union movement in India can be divided into three phases. The first phase falls between 1850 and 1900, during which the inception of the trade unions took place. Guided by educated philanthropists and social workers, the growth of the trade union movement was slow in this phase. In all industrial cities, many strikes took place in 2 decades following 1880 due to the prevailing poor working conditions and long working hours of work. Small associations came out in Bombay and Calcutta. The second phase falls between 1900 and 1947. The development of organized trade unions and political movements of the working class characterized this phase. It also witnessed the emergence of militant trade unionism. Organized trade unionism was prepared during 1900-1915. End of its World War and the Russian Revolution of 1917 gave a new turn to the Indian trade union movement and led to organized efforts on the part of workers to form trade unions. It was estimated that in 1920 there were 125 unions with a total membership of 250,000. In 1920, the first national trade union organization was established. Many of the leaders of the organization were leaders of the national movement. Moving ahead, the third phase began with the emergence of independence India. The government sought the cooperation of the unions for planned economic development. The working class movement was also politicized along with the lines of the political parties. Indian National Trade Union Congress is the trade union arm of the Communist Party of India. Subsequently, the socialists left to set up another national work federation. The Centre of Indian Trade Union, organized in 1970, has close links with the Communist Party of India. Besides workers, white collars, employees, supervisors and managers also permitted to join the trade union. For example, in the banking, insurance, petroleum, industries and aviation, the trade union exists. So with this, we have understood the definition, the meaning and the historical evolution of the trade union movement in India. Now, I would shortly be coming with a new video which talks about the scope, the purpose and the objectives of the trade union. Thank you.